Hi and welcome to a session on personalizing the experience for the 4 generations at health clubs with this club industry event. My name is Rob Lander and I'm the founder of Fisikal, a business management software that operates in the health and fitness industry. I've worked in the industry for the past nearly 30 years now in varying roles of being a Group X instructor in my early days through to becoming a fitness instructor and training race car drivers for the Rolex 24 Hours and Le Mans endurance races. And now as a technology innovator specializing in back-end infrastructure such as bookings, payments, on-demand platforms, etc. And we wrap up our products in a white labeled solution, which we brand for our customers. And Third Space and Richard is one such customer who joins us in the discussion today, has led the innovation and customization of the Third Space app leveraging the Fisikal platform. Rich, tell us today a little bit about your background.
Hi, Rob. It's firstly, I guess it's an absolute pleasure to be joining you on this panel. And although we're recording this a few weeks before the conference, a very warm hello to everyone from the club industry conference that's dialing in today. And of course, during these times, wishing you all our best wishes. But really excited that we're coming to you today. As Rob says, my name's Richard. I am from Third Space London. Third Space are a luxury London health club. We're currently 6 clubs across the capital, and we specialize in high-end club experiences, personal training, group exercise, and also today talking more about our digital innovation and product innovation, of which I am the owner of.
Fantastic. Thank you, Richard. So let's just jump straight into the session. We've got a couple of screens here and we're going to be making notes through this. So if you see our eyes darting around on the screen, it's because we want to make the best possible session for you guys today. And we've got lots of things to discuss. But our topic today is digital is the new personal. The creation of highly bespoke experiences in every member through personalization and communication, fitness content and purchase opportunities. Every member is an individual. Every individual has bespoke needs, motivation triggers, and preferences. In today's market, brand giants such as Netflix and Amazon have driven consumers to expect brands to identify and respond to their bespoke requirements. This has become the new baseline requirements that members will demand from their gym partner. Learn the importance of the value of personalized experience that is delivered across all areas of the member experience, from content through to booking and payment processes. Third Space have innovated an incredible personalized experience for their customers with the Third Space app. And the short video show next will show you how they like to do things. It's great to see, Rich, how that's coming together. It looks fantastic. What a great video.
Yeah, we're really pleased with it, Rob. I mean, this is, and we're obviously going to talk about this a little bit over the session, but this has been, with our partnership with you, it's been a couple of years in the making, but then really accelerated over the last 9 or so months, given sort of external catalyst that has been COVID. So yeah, we're really pleased. Members are starting to engage with it and pick it up and love it. So we're excited to drive this forward and continue to develop it.
So to start off the questions for you, Rich, do you see that different generations have different requirements when it comes to how they are communicated with? And how do Third Space treat users differently in each of the generations?
I think this is a really interesting question, Rob. And we try not to look at specific age groups or age brackets at Third Space. And that's really because we try to go off how people actually behave, what they tell us they want, what experiences they're looking for, rather than us assuming that because someone falls into a certain age group, they're going to want or behave in a certain way. We're very lucky at Third Space. We have an incredibly diverse group of fantastic members through the sort of age profile, although there is a kind of sweet spot. But as I say, we're much more interested in providing a sort of experience that members tell us they want or show us they want. And I think for us, though, what's absolutely critical is that we are a member centric, member experience business. So whether you come in and you see someone in club, whether you use a digital product, if you get a call from us or you call in, you need to get a 5-star experience. And all of our teams are totally focused on this and do an amazing job. I think one of the things I always like to talk about that probably sets us apart from many other clubs is our front of house teams. The first moment you walk into a Third Space club, it's like meeting a sort of hotel concierge. They can help you with anything from where equipment is in the gym, how to set yourself up as a member, how to use the app or the digital products, or even just where to get a great cup of coffee in the local area. I think then if that sort of frames the kind of experience we're creating in club, then my job as the product owner, the digital product owner, is really just to bring that experience to life and to take that element and that essence of what makes Third Space really special and deliver it through digital. So how do we do that? Well, we actually just sort of start off fairly basically and we ask our members, what is it they're looking for? What are they looking to get out from their Third Space experience? And then we match our products and services to their needs. And I think we're going to come on and we're going to talk about a few of the tools that we look to do that. But really that is a sort of it sounds simple, but to do that well is actually quite difficult. And that's where we've been spending a lot of our time.
So how do you know what members actually want? And do you use any technology to capture that information?
So we do. And again, I sort of start with, it sounds old fashioned, but we ask them. And we obviously use digital tools to do this, but we also blend the real world and asking our members in the real world, in the clubs, what they want. But then we also support this with digital tools. So one of the key tools that we use in terms of just to sort of ask our members what they want is the first time they log into the Third Space app, they go through a profiling experience, which asks them, their level of fitness, their experience level, how many times they're looking to train a week, what are their goals, what are their needs. And then from that, we can do some clever work in the back end in our consolidated data system and take our members down different personalized journeys. By that, I mean classic email communication, push notifications, what we personalize in the web and the app, what they see, but also then bringing it back into the real world, into the clubs. When a member engages with a PT on the floor, a PT from their iPad can see those elements of the member profile. They can see that a member is looking to, that needs a little bit of help or support in terms of their strength training. They can offer that service with a level of insight that perhaps they didn't have before. So a lot of that, so we do that profiling up front. We do a little bit of magic behind the scenes in terms of making that information easy and accessible, and then we hand that over to our fantastic teams to be able to use that information in a way that provides a 5-star customer service.
You mentioned that trainers create personalized training programs for your customers. Did Third Space decide to create their own library of exercises? And if so, are these made available to trainers so that they can create personalized training programs for your customers?
Yeah, we do, Rob. So this is a piece that we're really proud of. I think a lot of people maybe listening here who over the last 9 months have been moving into offering more digital training services will have a couple of options in terms of the content they provide. There are some fantastic sort of white label, and I know this is a service that you offer, Rob, and partners will offer in terms of providing sort of white label videos. And that may be absolutely right for some providers. With our brand, it was incredibly important that we had sort of creative control. And video has been a real priority for Third Space over the last couple of years. So for us, we wanted to film all of our video content. So we filmed over 400 different unique exercises in different parts of our clubs with different trainers. And I guess for us, that just provides a really authentic experience. People can see the trainers that they recognize from in the club. They can see the spaces. And I guess crucially, what I'm sort of talking about at the start of how do we bring that club experience into the digital experience, that was really, really important for us. So it looks like a Third Space experience. We then provide that. I guess the next and most important thing is, how do our PTs get access to that? So they've got two tools. They can either log in through their laptop, or increasingly our PTs are on the gym floor with an iPad. So we've got as well as having our member-facing app, we've got a trainer-facing app. In that, they can very quickly create workouts straight after a PT session with a client. So that we've been really trying to work hard at that speed of feedback. So from PT session to having a program in your app that you're able to follow for your next session, reduce that amount of time. The customer expectation now is that program should be with them very, very quickly, and in a format and in a way that's really easy to understand and easy for them to follow. And I'll talk about that a little bit in a second, but having that tool in our trainer's pocket has enabled us to do that very, very quickly. I think then, and this I'm sure will resonate with a lot of trainers and a lot of businesses across the audience today, is, we're not just building digital tools, we're also trying to transform how our business works. So a year or so ago, we had multiple different PT tools that either our PTs were pioneering, or very basic sort of PDF Word templates, but an inconsistent experience across the business. We really wanted to consolidate that in again, so our members got a consistent experience and a consistently really good experience. So a lot of the work we've been doing is bringing our trainers on the journey. So having them being consulted at each stage of this digital transformation, being involved in it, feeding back on it, and using the tools before we release them to members. And that's really meant that we've got buy-in from nearly 100 PTs across the business to use these tools, to promote these tools. And that only ends in a much, much better experience for our members. And then the final thing we do is we obviously do that sort of, I've just had a PT session, my PT sends me a program, but what we've also done a lot more is we have I think only sort of 10 or 15% of our members are engaging in PT services. So how do we service that other 85 or so % of people that are members but are not engaging in PT? And one of the really nice innovations we've brought in is using our PTs to create specific workout programs and training programs that we can then target to members that will be relevant for them. So that comes back to, what have members told us? Well, if a member has told us that they're looking to get much better at running, or cycling is a real priority for them, we can send them a PT program, a 4-week PT program that's specifically designed to help them become a stronger runner or a stronger cyclist. And that's really where we've started to see us move the dial and generate sort of 3x member engagement on these workouts. So that's another element.
That's amazing. Fantastic. Over 400 exercises that you've created there. This was obviously not part of what we were going to say, but I'm just curious to know how hard was that process of creating those videos? I mean,
that process was hard, Rob. You learn a new level of attention to detail when you film sort of 50 exercises and then realize someone's left a water bottle in the back of the screen. So an enormous, and I think that is important for an audience to understand, is if you do want to go down that content journey, you need a fantastic partner in terms of who is capturing that content. And it's not just as easy as setting up a camera and shooting. You really need to think about that whole sort of content creation experience. So that's something for the audience to think about.
What kind of business analysis do you do to identify how your customers are actually engaging with your offering? And do you see any differences between by generation type?
Really interesting question. Well, so my background is heavily rooted in sort of data analytics and understanding user behavior. And I'm sure if we could do a sort of virtual raising of hands of the audience here of how many people have tried to assume what their members think and do, I think we'd see quite a few hands going up around the auditorium here. And I think for us, we try to blend years of experience in the health and fitness industry that we have in the business with actual data and real analytics of how people are using the business. So we've been on a journey over the last sort of 4 or 5 years of how do we consolidate our data into a single place and push that data into tools that enables us to build visualizations and dashboards and reports. And I think if there is a business watching this that hasn't done this, you almost can't do anything more important today than just democratizing the data that your business is capturing, because that just enables people to do their jobs much, much better. So specifically, what have we been doing? Well, in partnering with you, Rob, over the last 2 years, we've consolidated that data from legacy systems into one place. So we've got one source of truth of the data, and we can build that hallowed single view of the member or the consumer. And then we've built tools on top of that. We primarily use Power BI, which is a fantastic tool. You don't need too much experience to start building great reports. And it's a really easy tool for teams to use and understand. And then we've built these tools specifically to use cases. So I think it's equally easy to sort of drown in data, but simplifying what is it you're trying to find out. So that could be something like what's our capacity rate in certain Group X classes, which classes are most popular, which trainers are most popular, and getting that information in a sort of real time just enables the business to be much more agile in making decisions, which ultimately benefit the end user. So we know if there is a sort of rising star trainer in the business because we can see it in the data, or if we've got a club that has a problem with a high drop-off rate, we can look at to why that is and to make sure that we're fully utilizing those classes and making sure as many people are experiencing them as possible. So data analytics has really enabled us to do that, and you've only seen us do that more, I think, over the last 9 months or so. I sort of keep coming back to this idea that COVID has been an accelerant for a lot of things, and for us, this has absolutely been the case. So as we start to talk, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more around the digital content we're offering, that real-time analytics is just so important, being able to see what classes are popular and what should we film next, or what programs are popular, or where are people dropping off in the journey. Digital gives you so many tools to understand user behavior, and it's then making sure that you can see that data, use that data, and then plan how you're going to make your product and experience better off the back of it. Specifically around the sort of generation, I mean, obviously we can see that different age groups use our products differently, and we do use that information to some extent. So we know PT over indexes in older users, we know Group X over indexes in slightly younger members, and maybe a slightly more female split. And we absolutely do use this information, all of that. And the great thing about once you've consolidated that data into one place is not only can you build analytics tools off it, but it's much, much easier to then build tools to actually utilize that data. So whether that's pushing it into a CRM platform like we do, or offering it back up to your front of house teams to be able to use that information as well. That just really enables that 5-star service. So whether you're getting an email that is saying, Rob, we know you're interested in high intensity Group X size classes, come and try our latest new concept. Or as you walk out, the concierge sort of says, have a great day, Rob. Can't wait to see you back in that fitness class concept again. It's just that sort of full 360-degree journey of capturing data, understanding it, and then utilizing it that's been really, really valuable for us.
Fantastic. And during the COVID situation that we've been experiencing, obviously that key access to your data, which we'll cover again in a minute, on the on-demand platform that you've created as well. And as a partner of yours, we're able obviously to see the insights of such data as well. And I find it fascinating to see that there are different sections of most popular started workouts, but most popular completed workouts, and the two aren't always exactly the same. And I did look at the other day just in preparation for this call and saw that in the last 90 days you have one client that's done over 225 workouts within the last 90 days, which is just off the charts amazing. And obviously people, the analytics gives you the tools that you can then reach out and get in touch with those members and share their experience and support them as much as they need to through that journey.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think we've seen unparalleled digital engagement over the last 9 months. I guess the context of how we're talking at the moment is, unfortunately, in the UK, we're back in a situation where our beautiful clubs are closed, as are the rest of the UK fitness industry, which is, it's a bitter pill to swallow. But I think the response you've seen, and not just talking about Third Space now, but across the UK fitness industry, it's just amazing, the pivot to digital. Us personally, I think we've seen during the last lockdown, we were offering our content not through our membership platform. We were offering it through Instagram Live. We had over 300,000 unique viewers. We grew our Instagram profile by nearly 100% during that period. We then moved all of that content into the member app, so that there was that real value in being a member. And we've seen over 65,000 views across our on-demand program, with over 10,000 views of our live streamed classes into the app, which is just incredible. And I think about 30 or so percent of our active membership will be doing a virtual class in the next week. So, having access to that information is just so powerful. And we can see that we're doing something right as well. We can see that our members are loving this and are engaging in this content. So we want to keep doing more of it.
How do you see the evolution of on-demand training changing how customers interact with brands? How did Third Space make the move to digital, and do you see this as a long-term solution for the brand?
Yeah, so I kind of want to break down what we mean by doing digital here. I've talked a lot about, we built this app in partnership with yourself, Rob, and Fisikal initially just to get the best access to our services. So booking classes, booking PT, and getting your PT programs. Over the last 9 months, 10 months, that has been totally shifted in terms of what these digital platforms can be used for. So I sort of want to frame this question more towards the on-demand fitness space. And the at-home fitness space. I think the first thing I'd sort of say in this space is at-home fitness has existed for quite a long period of time. You can cast your mind back to Jane Fonda and Mr. Motivator if you're in the UK, and the sort of 80s style various fitness DVDs that you could buy, and that has evolved over the last 30 years. However, I think there's a really interesting quote that I keep hearing over the last sort of 9 or so months, that sometimes decades go by and nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen. And I think that is absolutely true of the last 9 months. And we've had to totally shift about how we think about digital, taking the in-club experience and providing it to members at home, and playing in that at-home market. We've been watching it very carefully for the last couple of years and looking at it as a space to get involved in. But fundamentally, our business and our brand is rooted in a physical bricks and mortar experience. That is our USP. So it's been a real challenge for us over the last 9 months. First of all, challenging that thinking that we need to move into this space because the situation is going to continue to play out. And I think although cities will be a cyclical change, people will come back to the cities, businesses will come back to the cities. That is, I think, a few things have fundamentally changed in terms of people's working habits, and it's really important now that we are playing in that space. I think the other big shift that's moved us away from the Jane Fondas is the digital companies that are now operating in this space. So you could take Fit, you could take Peloton, you could take Apple Fitness, have fundamentally changed the game in the quality of the offering and the investment in the offering. These are incredibly rich user experiences, taking years of learnings around digital products to create habits and to create fantastic experiences that, with this change over the last 9 months, are a real threat to the traditional business model. And if we're not playing in this space, and if we're not competing in this space, then I think it's only going to be a detriment to us. I think for us, though, it's really important that we're not going to entirely pivot our business to a digital offering. Although there may be some revenue opportunities in this space down the line, this is more just another reason as to why you would join Third Space, and another fantastic pillar to our value proposition. And really for us, it's now about creating this blended experience where, if you're working 3 days a week, you can come into the gym on those 3 days and have the most incredible experience. But then when you're at home, you can still access your favorite trainer's classes, or engage with your PT and let them know what equipment you've got, even get access to equipment. And it's finding that sort of balance between the two that's going to be really, really important for us. And I think then we sort of look at, what's the member expectation of what that experience should be like, and it's crucial that it's 5 stars. And that's obviously where we're working really closely with your team, Rob, that user experience is seamless, that in-club experience transcends into digital, and that this isn't, we're not just paying lip service to this digital product, we're actually investing and creating a fantastic experience. And you're going to see lots more from Third Space over the next sort of 6 months in terms of the on-demand offering, the music offering, which is a real challenge for anyone looking to do this, providing more on-screen graphics, looking at heart rate monitor integration, looking at how do you bring a community feel that we bring in our clubs, how do you bring that to the app. So we've got a really extensive product roadmap that's just going to take this product and hopefully catch up with some of those previous companies I mentioned.
Exciting times ahead with all the innovation and what's there. But now, as the clubs here in the UK are closed for another month or so, again for lockdown 2.0, how will Third Space continue to offer outstanding experiences to your members and also support them through this next lockdown and any future lockdowns that we may encounter?
Yeah, I think for us this time, we sort of realized 6 or so months ago that we either are going to sit on our heels and wait for consumer behavior to change back to how it used to be and our business will be a success again and continue to grow, or do we want to step forward, start investing in this space to make sure that our brand is where it needs to be and our business is where it needs to be successful. I'm very pleased we made that latter decision quite early on. It's meant that coming into this second lockdown, although incredibly disappointing, it was expected. So our team are immediately pivoting back to sort of providing digital engagement. We've got a huge library of full-length classes across a range of different categories to keep members engaged. We've got a weekly now email that goes out providing members programs for the next week, the recommended classes that they should do for the next week. So we've immediately been able to pivot back into that space. And then obviously some of these enhancements that are coming into the next year, unfortunately, I think the expectation is this could be an ongoing challenge for the next few months. So really just making sure that we've done the planning, and now it's about moving into to executing and putting these great digital experiences in front of our members. I think one of the challenges we're still having and we still haven't quite captured is how do we create that community feel? And I think that's a really difficult thing to do through digital, and that's a problem that we'll be working on over the next 3 to 6 months, which is how do we bring that fantastic community spirit and engagement into this digital world, and you'll have to watch this space to see what we come up with there.
It's a great question. How do you do that? And the likes of companies like Peloton in the marketplace you can like and share, and you can high five people that are in a class as you're doing it. But
yeah, and it's really interesting though, because again, we're doing sort of constant feedback and surveys, and 50% of members really want that, but then 50% of members really don't. And we've done so many tests over the last 6 months, whether that's through Instagram Live, through Zoom, through Vimeo, and now direct through into the app. And we've really seen a mixture of feedback. But what we consistently see that our members do want is our trainers, the ones they recognize. So providing more of that, more concepts, better music, which is something we've been working on extensively. And then it's all the simple things, like just reducing the number of clicks it takes to get into a workout, or push message recommendations and one click. All of the sort of digital basics that you need to do to make a product more engaging and becoming habitual, we're bringing in streaks and rewards for doing multiple workouts, are all things we're looking at. And then we've got an entirely new stream within the business, which is a real pivot for us, looking at digital events and digital partnerships. So what you'll see from us over the coming few months is some fantastic events working in partnership with retailers, working in partnership with musicians, to add just another level of depth to the online content that we provide, and provide a really exciting and engaging experience. So we're really excited about some of these things. Obviously, we want the lockdowns to end. We want our members back in the clubs. But I do think, from our point of view, certainly this catalyst, this accelerant that COVID has provided, has fundamentally changed how we're sort of thinking around digital engagement. And we will obviously be looking to support our members, their physical and their mental well-being over the next 4 weeks, and hopefully it is just 4 weeks. But this won't stop there. This will continue, and we will continue to develop it to provide this ongoing fantastic experience to our members.
After the first lockdown, when members were able to come back into the clubs again, what was really great that you did within the app was to create some clear messaging and instructions on how members, what they needed to know before they were able to then book their gym access session directly through the app. Just tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, we like talking about the sexy stuff. We like talking about bringing our instructors to the big screen and into the app. But actually, over the last 9 months, a really important element has been to reassure our members. Members have a range of views in terms of wanting to get straight back, but others that need that reassurance that the gym environment is safe and that people are utilizing their environment in a way that is safe. So it's been great that, and I keep coming back to, this is how people communicate these days. Though email marketing, social media marketing is important, actually what the Third Space app has given us is just a direct communication channel where we can use various forms of rich media, push message and notifications to let members know, what is happening in their club. What should they expect? Because when we first opened the doors, and I'm sure every fitness provider will have this, we've got the sort of, we've got the floor markings, we've got the Perspex screens, but we wanted to reassure members that was already there and that wasn't something to fear. This was something that was making their experience safer and better. And the app enabled us to do that. So you're absolutely right, Rob. It's making sure that we're utilizing that tool for all elements of our business, and not just we're not just thinking about the engagement side. We're thinking about that reassurance side, and that's a journey that we will continue to go on.
When Third Space were looking at creating this personalized experience right at the start, what options did you consider before making a decision on how best to implement the solutions?
Yeah, this is a great question. This is a challenge that, for people that are listening that have been on this journey, people who have had this challenge, people who are thinking about this journey, this is your biggest decision, I think, at this point. And that decision is, are you going to buy a product off the market, off the shelf, and customize it, or are you going to build it? Now, for different people, there's no right or wrong answer to that, in the sense of it will be a unique decision to you. There is a right or wrong answer, because if you choose the one that isn't necessarily relevant to your business, you can go down a sort of path that is not going to get you a great product, and you can spend a lot of money in this space. So I think it's really important that everyone spends a little bit of time, and this is what we did, spent quite a lot of time actually working out what is it we were looking to create in terms of experiences, and what problems were we trying to solve, and then what was the best way to solve those. And for those, Rob, I'm very happy that we made the decision that we would partner with Fisikal. We would buy a product. But I think what working with Fisikal has enabled us to do is, yes, buy a product and get us off the starting line, something very quickly into the hands of our members. But then crucially, your product, the physical products, enable us to now start customizing that. And I think that's the really important element for us as a really distinct brand. Being able to make that app look and feel like a Third Space product, and add new services that maybe wouldn't be relevant to some of your other clients. So that's been really, really important. And the reason why we made that decision was, I think when you buy something off the shelf, your speed to market is so much quicker. You're investing in an organization that has the skills and experience, that have done this before, have done the integrations, have done the rollout, done the training. You're buying into a partner as much as the product that can guide you through this process. And and there is inevitably, you know, we looked at, do we want to bring developers into the business, you know, and the team size that would be required and the investment that would be required to do that. And for us, that just wasn't the right decision. So yeah, that was our most crucial sort of decision.
Fantastic. So thank you, Rich. As we wrap up today's session, I just want to say thank you for joining Rich and I on today's session for Club Industry. I hope you've all enjoyed it and found it useful. And if you have any further questions, do get in touch on the details that we're going to show on the screen at the end of this video. So thank you again for joining me, Rich. And it was a great session. Good discussion.
Thank you so much, Rob, and best wishes to everyone tuning into this.
Super.